All right, well, good Saturday afternoon to you. Paul Swanson with you from theswansonreport.net, theswansonreport.net, theswansonreport.net. We're out in the recently repaired Swanson Report mobile command post, out running around doing some Saturday morning, I guess it's Saturday afternoon errands. And it's actually a nice day. I don't know if you can tell from outside here, but there's plenty of light, sunshine, blue skies, nary a cloud in the sky anywhere. And it's just in the 30s. So actually a pretty nice day. Hardly, a little bit of a wind, but not all that bad. No, good grief. These idiots. Electronic alerts in your car that told me a while ago that I had a low tire, so I filled that up and it's been fine until just now, and now I have another one. So, well, we've got a compressor at home. I guess we'll just go ahead and fill it up when we get there. It's not really all that low, so anyway, if you've been on the website, theswansonreport.net, or been on fightbackmedia.com, you might have noticed we are going to be starting a newsletter here pretty soon. We've already really started it. I've been doing it for a year and a half off and on. But we're going to get back to that, and the reason we're going to get back to that is the ongoing and potential for censorship throughout social media and on the internet. So we're gonna go directly to you, the consumer, and so you can go to theswansonreport.net and read the story there and follow the, I hope, clear and concise and precise instructions. We'd love to have you join and get the information. We're still going to be doing this sort of stuff, but there's another way, and it's another tool that we have at our disposal to go ahead and get information out to you. Ongoing in Wisconsin, probably today as we speak. I haven't looked specifically, but there are recounts ongoing in both Dane and Milwaukee County. Dane County encompasses the better part, well, not the better part, all of the city of Madison and the surrounding county area, as does, and Milwaukee takes the better part of the city of Milwaukee. So those are ongoing there. They had a rather protracted and lengthy 5 or 6 hour meeting the other night, trying to get the procedures and protocols down for the recount. And I did post a picture there's another story on the website this morning called Wisconsin Recount, which shows they're actually got representatives of both campaigns sitting at a table along with the individual who's doing the recount. the pandemic glass, plexiglass in between them, and they're actually, both parties are having a chance to look at both, at each and every ballot that has been presented. So, that is ongoing. I don't know how that is. I haven't heard anything. So anyway, those things are going on. The one thing that we did talk about or wrote about this morning, and I did talk about on this morning's morning report, which our good friend Willie Lawson from fightbackmedia.com has, I hopefully either posted today or maybe is going to post it tomorrow. He might have had one already at the ready. So anyway, here in Wisconsin, you register to vote, but you do not have to register. Well, the state of Wisconsin does not take your party affiliation upon your registration to vote. So, not a big deal. You just don't do that. So, somebody who's a lot smarter than I and does this sort of thing for a living has looked at the statistics and voter registrations. And here, as I said, here in Wisconsin, they have a designation for voters. There's a wonderful sunburst. There's a voter designation here called indefinitely confined. Now, that is not something new. It is not a pandemic type of designation. It is a designation simply for those people who are invalids, who are permanently disabled, who are mobility challenged, who can't get around on their own and don't have the wherewithal or the facility to be able to get out and get to the polls. So their voting registration is as indefinitely confined. So they do not have to provide they don't have to provide a voter ID. They're on the voter rolls as indefinitely confined. The stats going back 10 years, so from 2010 through this year, 2020, obvious upticks for 2012, 2016, which are presidential years, and 14 and 2014 and 2018 being midterm elections, had a slight uptick, but not statistically significant for those types of things. And the numbers have been in the 600 or 700s to the 2,000 to 3,000s, 8,000 I think at one point. And I don't have them right in front of me, and I don't have a didactic memory, so I can't tell you exactly what all the numbers were. You can actually look at the numbers. I posted them for your purview. But this year, I think in 2016 there were, and my best recollection of the number there were about 8,000, somewhere between 8,000 and 9,000 requests for voters who were designated as indefinitely confined. This year, 2020, for the presidential election, and the numbers for those who are designated as indefinitely confined jumped to 160,000 plus. And as I seem to remember, that's a percentage increase of 1,700 and some odd percent increase in those numbers of indefinitely confined requests. Now, those types of jumps in numbers and that type of increase, sudden increase, if you look at the past history and the history as it has gone over for the past 10 years, that makes you go, that doesn't look quite right. So I hope that somebody is going to be looking at that in addition to the numbers of ballots and the recount stuff that is going on as we progress on this. It's been, 18 days since the election, and we still don't have an idea. It's getting to the point that somebody has to, at some point, and I don't know that it's within the purview of the Constitution or the federal government or whatever, but somebody has to have the wherewithal, the cojones, the big brass balls to suddenly go, you know what? There's enough problems, and not just hearsay and speculative problems with the elections in Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona. There's valid issues in all of these areas that we know about, and the rest of the states, there very well may be those types of problems there, and they just haven't bothered to look at it. That maybe we ought to have a mulligan, a redo, a do-over. Hey, if you're voting, you come with your voter ID, you're handed a paper ballot, you mark your paper ballot, you put it in the OCR, the optical reader, and we count them that way. Or you hand it to the clerk there, and they're the ones who count right then and there, so you know that your vote's been counted. But 18 days is, we're approaching 3 weeks of something like this. That just doesn't bode well. This has got to be corrected. It just does not need to be suddenly blessed. Oh well, there's a few problems, but we'll address those. I think in Georgia, they may or may not have sort of maybe certified their election or not. And I believe the Secretary of State there in Georgia has said, well, yeah, we know there were some irregularities or some problems, but we'll take that up through ongoing legislation, or legislation that they'll bring to the state legislature to go ahead and make those corrections. Well, if they've already certified stuff, why? What's the need for? You've said that they're already, the vote was all okay, and you certified it. So why do we need to legislate anything? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That, and the fact that another data type person, statistician, has looked at both Michigan and Pennsylvania as far as their voter rolls, and has determined that, and this is again a rough guesstimate on that person's part, that there are probably the equivalent of 160,000 duplicate voters who are on the rolls twice, voters who are voting both in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Needs to be investigated. Needs to be investigated. So, hey, thanks everybody. Please like, share, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything that we have going on here. And we will talk with you all again real soon.